Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We are lucky to be joined by the University of North Carolina Tar Heels men's basketball coach Hubert Davis here at ACC Tipoff in Charlotte. Coach, this one admittedly comes a little bit inspired by our producer Dennis, who's on the other side of this table.
Okay.
He noticed your shoes as soon as you walked up. He is a very, very big sneakerhead.
Okay, great.
So I feel like you have to have an opinion on it as the head coach of the Tar Heels. Yeah. Do you have a favorite Jordan?
I do. Jordan 1s.
Jordan 1s? Is there a particular colorway?
No, I've got over 60 pair in my office. So when the recruits come in, they know how I'm rocking. I bring the fire as soon as you walk into the office.
He's a Jordan 1s guy. You have no idea how happy you just made him.
There you go.
He's got
high or low,
right now.
But I like lows, but I'll take highs too.
Do you get a vibe for recruits? Is it like, oh, this guy's a Jordan 11 guy. When he rolls up, I'm gonna be wearing the 11s. Do you tailor it, or is just Jordan 1s for everybody?
No, it's Jordan 1s for everybody. But the guys like all of them. They do. They don't care. And so being a Jordan school and being affiliated with MJ is a huge bonus for us, for our current players, and also we're out recruiting.
We're talking with Hubert Davis. He is the head coach of the UNC men's basketball team. We see some of your players making their way around. Armando Baycott immediately to our left. Armando, RJ Davis, they've been with this program a long time. Do you coach them differently, knowing they've chosen to come back and they have all that experience, maybe differently than you would a younger player?
It's so funny. People, they've been here a long time, and RJ's just a senior. But
it feels like it's experience, right? He's lived the life. He's lived the life.
The way college is gone, accomplished players like Armando and RJ, they usually don't stay. And so I find that refreshing from the standpoint of you can be successful and accomplished as a student athlete, but also love college and love being where you're at. And so having their type of leadership and experience in the locker room, out there on the floor, is something that is so beneficial and needed, and I'm so thankful that they're here.
And having a little bit of name, image, and likeness money probably makes that decision a little bit easier for the player. Armando especially, some of the reported numbers are astronomical. What is it like, or how different is it coaching a player that might be making a couple $100,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars in a year off the court doing the name, image, and likeness thing?
Well, I've always been in favor of NIL from the standpoint that our players benefiting off their name, image, and likeness. Their experience as a student athlete was much different than mine at Carolina. And, with, their name and their image and their likeness being used in a number of different platforms, they should be able to benefit from it. And so I'm thankful that our players are in a position to be able to do it. The thing that I one of the things that I like about Armando and RJ and our players is they understand what comes first. And what comes first is doing what you need to do out there on the floor. What comes first, 1A and 1B, is doing the best that you can in a classroom, and then taking care of NIL. And I think all of our players have a great understanding of that.
One of the biggest name, image, and likeness kind of arguments against it is, how is a locker room going to act when this guy's making a certain amount of money and this guy's not making as much, and that third guy's making way more than the others? Have you seen any of that popping up?
I haven't seen that pop up in our locker room. Not to say that it doesn't, but that's life. I don't think everybody has the same salary, the same job, the same responsibilities. Just worry about yourself.
Anywhere, yep. Worry about yourself. If everyone could take that advice, worry about yourself. Yeah. We're talking with Hubert Davis, North Carolina head men's basketball coach. We talked about guys like Baycott and Davis, like living a life, right? They're just he's a senior, but he's been through a lot. Looking at the last 2 years, how is preseason different? Getting ready for a season different? Coming off an appearance in the national championship game versus coming off missing the tournament.
Well, the preparation isn't any different. Mm-hmm. I think the awareness is different. I've spoke on this. There's a number of reasons. Like, going into a season, the goal is to become the best that you can become. Just max out your potential. And in the first year, I felt like we did that. And last year, that was the disappointment, in that wherever that was, we didn't reach our full potential. And so what stopped us from doing that? And there's a number of reasons, but I think one of them is, that often or sometimes when you experience praise and prosperity, you take a deep breath you lose sight, even briefly, of what has really allowed you to get to the point where you're up by 1 with 1:25 to go in the national championship game. And
not that you don't remember those numbers exactly.
No, I remember those numbers, and those are the little small details and disciplines that you have to have, and that's something that this group, especially Armando and RJ, have really learned from last year to this year.
And it's interesting because you bring in someone like Elliot Cadeau, who's gotten a lot of, from the portions available to the media, a lot of very strong reviews since stepping on campus. Is a like, are you comfortable putting a freshman with all that pressure on him and understanding that it's, the difference between finishing a game with 1:25 left and not could be one lapse in that focus?
Yeah, I mean, that's growth, and as talented as both our freshmen are, Zayden High and Elliot Cadeau, that takes growth. But also with the transfers, they've never playing at North Carolina is different.
That shade of blue means more.
It's and at the level that we're playing at, the teams that we're playing, the spotlight, it's different. And so that attention to detail has to be there, but I believe our guys understand the importance of it.
We're talking with Hubert Davis, North Carolina head men's basketball coach. Coach, I thought we'd finish with a little bit of fun. You obviously, we know you from your time as a player, your time in media, and now your time as a coach. I won't make you kind of name one of the players because that just seems wrong. But when it comes to your players, who do you think most likely to have a long time after their basketball career's over as a player? They're most likely to have a future in media, most likely to have a future as a head basketball coach on the sidelines. Could you name a couple guys?
In media, Harrison Ingram. And maybe Armando, but Harrison Ingram, oh my gosh, yes.
As soon as he showed up on campus, he hasn't been here very long.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh yes, he's amazing.
Okay, we'll have to get him on the show.
Oh, you'll have to. I'm serious. He is hilarious. He's one of those guys that are funny. He's not trying to be funny, and he's our biggest trash talker. And sometimes it's hard for me not to laugh in practice. He's amazing. He's been great.
And then who's the future in coaching? Who can you see being one of your assistants in a couple years? First of all, I shouldn't say a couple years. Long after they're done making a whole bunch of money in the NBA, then they want to join your staff. Who's most likely to be there?
Paxton Wojcik or Cormac Ryan.
Okay,
those two guys.
Another transfer working his way in there quickly.
Yeah. Those two guys they've been great.
Hubert, we appreciate you for taking the time. Good luck this season.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.